The Trinity is the most unique feature of the Christian belief about God. What is the Trinity? In its simplest form, this doctrine stands on two basic tenets. First, it affirms that there is only one true God that exists. This means that the Christian faith is a monotheist faith. It is in contradiction to all systems of beliefs that hold to the existence of multiple gods such as those found in Greek mythology or in Hinduism. The second assertion is that there are three persons who are all identified as this one God, each of them with real, unique individualities. They are thus named the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. This means that while the Christian faith is monotheist, it is not a monotheist of a Unitarian kind as is the case, for example, with Islam's doctrine of God. The Christian God is both ultimately one and three. Now, why is this the theism that can truly make sense of our experience of reality? To answer this question, let me take you to what is perhaps the oldest philosophical problem, at least in Western civilization, the so-called problem of the one and the many. Is the nature of reality one, or is it many? Are we to regard the cosmos as a unity or a diversity? The two philosophers who first butt their heads over this problem are Heraclitus and Parmenides. Parmenides believes that there is only one unchanging being. Changes and diversities therefore are to be regarded as nothing but illusions of the senses. Heraclitus, on the contrary, asserts that the cosmos is a constant state of becoming. There is no state of being, therefore there are only changes and diversities. Succeeding philosophers attempted to synthesize these two opposite poles. You see such in Democritus' theory of atoms, Plato's theory of forms, and Aristotle's theory of matter. Today, this philosophical problem is largely forgotten, but it does not mean that people no longer make assumptions about the nature of reality under these terms. So before you dismiss this philosophizing as an example of useless armchair thinking, consider its implications on how we know what we know. Think with me. If what exists are only diversities without unity, how can knowledge of anything be possible? In such a world, every single atom in existence becomes a universe of its own. This means that we cannot truly predicate anything about anything, nor can we make classifications and differentiations among facts because there is no shared universal reality. There is only an ocean of completely unrelated particulars. In such a world, you won't be able to distinguish an apple from oranges because there is no universal appleness of which a particular apple only partakes properties of. On the other hand, if what exists is but a reality of one, all differentiations are obliterated. There is no way to speak of a red apple, for example, because redness cannot become a property of concrete particular apples. In fact, red and apple cannot both exist in a world where there is only one undifferentiated reality. What this demonstrates is that knowledge, science, is only truly possible if we maintain that the one and the many are paradoxically equal as ultimate in the universe, hence universe. Take a scientist who conducts an experiment. What he's trying to do is delineate universal laws that can be instantiated by particular things in nature. The scientist therefore has to plant his feet firm on the ultimacy of both the one and the many if he is to discover intelligibility in nature. He stands on presuppositions that only a Trinitarian ground of reality can account for. The same tension of the one and the many is observed with the organization of human societies. The development of political theories is somehow a juggling of the one and the many. What takes priority in society? Is it the collective or the individual? Societies who place the collective above the individual run the risk of tilting towards a more totalitarian state. Individual liberty is squashed by imposed ideologies and behaviors designed to make uniform citizenry. Those who place the individual over the collective tends to anarchy, where a uniting seat of authority is viewed as a threat to freedom. Where do you stand? Consider answering this question. Should education promote the development of the individual, or should it make good members of society? If your answer is both, you are affirming the equal ultimacy of both the one and the many. A good society stands on Trinitarian grounds. Perhaps a case in point is found in Islam. Without the intrusion of more democratic ideals, Islamic nations mostly tend towards totalitarianism. This is not an accident in their Unitarian theism. The same layer of reality can be found in human meaning, arts, music, narratives, and stories, among others. Neither a Unitarian nor a polytheist ground can account for the nature of reality we experience. Only a God who is ultimately one and many accounts for human knowledge and experience. The Christian Trinity, therefore, is the one true God.